breathe in, swim in the cosmic vibration of everything around you. Find stillness in it and listen. Welcome to your complete total body yoga connection flow. We are here today at the incredible Palmaia, the House of Aia Holistic Wellness Resort, with an energizing and reawakening yoga flow that will bring you into complete presence and connection of your body and mind. This yoga practice is all about staying fully connected to the breath as you explore the limitations and possibilities of your physical body. No props will be necessary, however, yoga blocks are always a great help if you have some. So once you got everything you need, take a deep breath in with me, and let's flow. Today's practice was shot and created on the beautiful grounds of Palmaia, the House of Aia in Mexico. We are grateful to have been able to experience the full energy of this tropical sanctuary. If you're looking for a holistic, magical place to relax and reconnect, then check them out in the description of this video. With that said, let's get ready to practice. Grab your mat and let's begin. Welcome, my dear friends. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice. We're going to begin our class today by coming to the back of our mat, feet together, knees together. Let's start by first taking a big expansive breath in, reaching both of your arms up, palms together, bending your elbows, placing your hands on top of your third eye in gratitude and setting up a beautiful intention as you release forward over to child's pose. Vertebra by vertebra coming forward, opening through that chest, arching the back, and then sit back down to child's pose. Starting with this beautiful movement, opening through that chest, through the spine, sit back down. Roll forward, arch the back, look up, and come back down. Now you can make this movement as big or small as it feels good on the body today. Good, open and sit back down. So making almost wave-like motions with the spine, come forward. And now lift the thighs off the floor and opening into that upward dog. Exhale, lift the hips, but try to keep your toes tucked under. See if you can get a nice stretch through the fronts of your feet. Look up and lift the hips for 2. Drop the hips down. Keep the thighs off the mat and lift the hips back up. Feel that stretch through the front area of your toes, of your feet. And then from here, lift up, tuck your toes now and release into your downward facing dog. Allow the heels to sink down as comfortably as you can, and then maybe adding a little bit more movement by walking out your downward dog on one spot. Bend one knee at a time, press the opposite heel into the floor, and open up. Holding this downward dog for another breath in. And then as you exhale, transition into high plank. Feel free to drop the knees down if you need to. Taking one chaturanga push-up, come back up, and then chaturanga dandasana. Upward facing dog on your inhale. And exhale, come back into downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Come forward into your plank. One chaturanga push-up. And then chaturanga dandasana. Release the toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Release the feet. Inhale. Exhale, one more round. Come forward into plank. Take your push-up. Bring it back up, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog, release. All right, let's do one final round. Come forward into plank, take your push-up, then your chaturanga, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale. This time, go ahead and reach your right leg up into 3-legged dog. Try to keep your shoulders square. Bending your top knee, your right knee. And then begin to open by stacking the right hip over left. holding this three-legged dog. And then if it's within your practice, go ahead and transition right into that wild thing, flip dog, dropping your foot down and then opening into that open expansion of the heart. Drop the hips down, reach your right arm to the back of your mat, and then open for 2. Bring it forward and up for 3. Good. Just work with the breath. Reach forward with your fingers and then over and out. Bring it forward as the hips drop and then lift. So feeling that engagement in your lower body as well to do the movement. Good. Transitioning back into three-legged dog. And then that right knee is going to come over towards your chest into plank position and then extend it back into three-legged dog. Bring it forward into plank and then back into three-legged dog. Right knee to chest and back. Right knee to chest and back. Now we're going to go a little deeper into that core, guys. Come forward, bring that right knee now. I want you to touch your elbow and then your wrist. Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. Feel that core. Wrist, right elbow, right wrist, or even above the elbow if you can get that knee up high. Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist, elbow. You got it, wrist. And then extend into plank or simply step right into the front of the mat with that right foot. Reaching your arms now, transitioning into our high lunge position. Hold it here, hips are square, shoulders are square. Deep breath in, and then let's take our eagle arms. Your right elbow underneath your left. Intertwine your wrist, palms together. Opening through that heart center, hold it here. And then bring the elbows to the front knee, and then open the chest for 1. So try to touch the front knee with the elbows, and then open up for 2. Touch, and 3. Beautiful. Bring that body down and bring it up. Try to find that center and that stability. Shift your weight now to the front foot. Bring your left knee to the belly button and then sit right into a full eagle pose. Crossing your left knee over right, your left ankle behind your right ankle. Aligning your elbows and your knees. And then release, stepping back just halfway with the back foot, and then take your body down halfway. Release the eagle arms. Open the arms to the side. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot, so where the pinky toe of your right foot, reach your right arm up to the sky, reverse triangle. Now if you need a little more support, like a yoga block here, that's always great to have. Otherwise, do your best to look up to the sky, really feeling this beautiful twist. And then uncross, untwist the body. And then shift your weight to the front foot, releasing left foot right next to the right into your forward fold. Beautiful, you guys. Take a deep breath in, bend your knees. And then slowly begin to roll up to standing. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend your elbows, dive it down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, stepping back into your high plank position. Chaturanga, or add a push-up if you like. Upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, my friends, we're going to take it to the other side. Left leg reaches up into three-legged dog. And then once you're ready, bend that knee, stack your hips. So open those hips, but just do your best to keep your shoulders square. And then continue to fall all the way through into your wild thing or flip dog. Reaching your other arm up, opening through that center, that heart, that chest. Bend that top arm into cactus and then drop the hips, reach your fingers to the back of your mat and open for 2. Good. Bring it down, drop your hips and out for 3. Good. Bring it down. Opening and arching your back as much as you can here, really creating that space in the front area of your body and open. Beautiful. Slowly returning back. 3-legged dog. And then that left knee to your chest, and then extend 3-legged dog for 1. Let's keep it going. Bring it to the chest, and 2. Bring it to the chest, and 3. And 4. And now bend that knee, bring it over towards the left elbow, and then see if you can touch your left wrist. Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist, or go even higher than the elbow if you can. Elbow, wrist, touch, touch. Just 2 taps. Tap and tap, tap and tap. Really feel that engagement in your obliques, in your lower abs. Extend the leg back, and then step that left foot to the front of your mat. Find your center just for a moment, and then reach both of your arms up to the sky, high lunge. And then taking your eagle arms, intertwine your wrist, palms together. Find that center. Let's just work with the upper body. Drop your upper body down, touch your elbows to knee, and then open for 1. Bring it down, and open for 2. You got it. Bring it down, and 3. Bring it down, and 4. Beautiful. Hold it here. Shift your weight to the front foot. Bring your right knee to your belly button, and then sink down into your eagle pose. Beautiful. Find that alignment of the knees and the elbows. Try to keep them linear here in one line. Sinking low with your hips. And then knee up. Step it back halfway down through the mat. And then bring your chest down halfway first. Keep those eagle arms. And then release the arms to the side. Right hand comes to the outside of your left foot. Left arm reaches up to the sky into your reverse triangle. See if you can bring your gaze up to the sky or keep your gaze down, whatever feels better for you. Deep breath in. Exhale out, slowly come back. Good, now we're gonna shift our weight forward. Bring your right leg up, bend your knee, and bring your feet together at the front of your mat. Releasing into your forward fold. And then slowly bending your knees and rolling up for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, bend your elbows and dive all the way down to the mat, forward fold. Inhale halfway. And then exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Good, just take your breath. Exhale to plank, adding that push-up if you wish. And then take your Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog. And exhale, push and release back into downward facing dog. One more exhale here. Beautiful. Then from this position, you're gonna lift both of your heels off the mat, bend your knees, hop forward and land in your yogic squat malasana with your toes pointed outward, knees away from your body, palms together in Anjali Mudra. And then use your elbows and try to push into the knees to open up your hips. Your tailbone points down, crown of your head points up. Good. Now to transition out, bring your hands behind you. Just walk them to the middle of your mat and then landing yourself right over on your mat and coming into our Navasana or boat pose. Lift your feet off the mat, engage through your core. And if it's within your practice, go ahead and extend both of your knees. You can always keep the knees bent as well. Now we're going to transition right into our plow. Simply release vertebra by vertebra and bring your feet up and over your head, supporting your lower back or interlacing all of your fingers and extending the elbows. Hold yourself here. Toes grounded on the mat. Really feel this opening through the back. And then let's transition into our shoulder stand by extending both of your legs up to the sky, supporting your lower back and your sacrum. Keep pulling up to the sky from the toes. Reach up, reach up. And then release your feet. Release your hands onto the mat and then start to lower vertebra by vertebra all the way down with your back. Continuing with your legs all the way down, engaging through your core, then either just coming back up in a leg lift or lifting the hips slightly like you're about to do plow halfway, or the most advanced variation would be our full jackknife where we come right up to a shoulder stand without support and then lower with control back down. So whatever variation, continue to go up and lower down for 3. Good. So once again, you guys either just do regular leg lifts or come all the way up with the hips. Just make sure you feel comfortable in whichever variation you're doing, engaging our core, making sure with the legs lower that you do not arch the lower back, lowering them down until the point where you feel that disconnection from the mat and your back. Good, and lower down, keep it going, working through those lower abdominals, lift and lower and lift. Now if you're in full shoulder stand, feel free to support yourself here if needed, maybe come into a plow or maybe just keep your legs up to the sky, whatever feels good. Wherever you are now, from here we're lowering the legs all the way down with control and then bending your knees into the chest. Good. Drop your feet onto the mat. Lift the hips now into our bridge just to release our hip flexors here a little bit, our core. Interlace your fingers underneath you and just lift those hips up. Lift up. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your glutes. Awesome, you guys. And then to release, what we're going to do first is release the hands. Bring them up to the sky, lift the heels off the floor and just hold on the balls of your feet for one more breath and then lower vertebra by vertebra all the way until your spine is on the floor. Bring your knees into the chest and then cross left knee over right as you take a deep spinal twist, both of your knees falling to your right, left arm opens to the left. Look over your left shoulder as you take a deep breath in. Good. This should feel really nice on your back here, and your side body and your shoulder. Come back to center and just switch sides. Now right knee over left, arms open, both knees to your left as you look over your right shoulder. And let's come back to that peaceful breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling as you truly relax and surrender into the mat. Giving your body this moment of stillness and reconnection. Reconnection to the breath, this present awareness. Right, once you're ready to come out, untwist, release yourself back to that center, bring your knees into the chest. And from here, we're just going to do a couple of rolling like a ball, holding the back of your knees and just roll up and down. And on your third or fourth time here, roll yourself all the way up to standing forward fold onto your feet. Use the help of your hands here. Good, and just hold that forward fold. And let's go a little deeper by grabbing the big toes with your 2-piece fingers and just allowing yourself to relax deeper and deeper into this asana. With your exhalation, allowing your forehead to come down as closer to your knees as you're able to do so today. Good, your body is warm, it's practiced hard, so you're able to go a little further. And then once you're ready, step back into downward facing dog. And then come into plank, taking that optional push-up if you want. And then a chaturanga. Upward facing dog, final upward dog, and exhale, release into your final downward facing dog. Great job, you guys. Just take another inhale. Come back to the breath. Come back to that intention. Come back to the body. And then drop down to your knees and sit over to child's pose, dropping your forehead onto the mat. Good. Just take a moment here to find that stillness, that grounding, that reconnection. Taking a moment to send out gratitude to yourself for your beautiful practice today. Slowly come up to seated, reaching both of your arms up to the sky. And then exhale. Gently bring your hands over to your heart. Taking one more breath in, then exhale, bowing down to your heart. Bowing down in gratitude for your commitment, for your practice, and for your dedication to your health and to your well-being. It's been an honor to practice with you today. Thank you so much for joining me here today in beautiful Mexico. I send you all my love and light. Namaste.
But at the same time, peaceful because I knew, I was like, now I'm on path.
Right.
And I knew what I was doing before was not on path. It was just, I wasn't saying yes to the soul path.
Yeah.
And and it actually becomes more uncomfortable after a while to not do it than the fear of doing it. And that was kind of the point that I was at. It was just so uncomfortable.
For sure.
And so, I don't know, for anyone listening, I think that's a lot of people are at that point now in their lives where they know there's something more for them, but there's a fear, and it's that threshold of just into the unknown.
That's
so
really
relevant.
powerful.
We talked about that yesterday. We literally were talking about that
Right? There's so
yesterday.
many people right now that can feel that soul urge and calling, but there's this fear of, well, will I be accepted? And what is it like to be seen? And in their own version, not saying you have to be doing any of this, but just showing up. And everybody, we know inside, we know. And when we can stop and listen to what is my purpose, what is the calling, and then we live out that answer, because the fear is the living it out, right?
Yeah.
So
It's putting the ego to the side.
Yeah.
Again, we have to put that ego aside just for a moment.
Yeah.
And to like open the space.
But to make the choice to either figure out how to cope with the uncomfort and not do what you're here to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so important to people that could be listening. It's like, if you have that feeling that something isn't right in your life, it's really easy to bury it and to hide from the uncomfort, but you'll always feel it, and you'll always also wonder if you didn't do something.
What would it be?
What would it be if you had? So would you rather take the chance and possibly fail, whatever that looks like, but there is no fail if you take the chance and do something to face it and find that truth and discover, or continue your life always wondering and feeling uncomfortable. Like, it's like, which pill do you want to take? Well, clearly you'll go with Morpheus, right? Let's go into find the truth of it all.